Okay, today is July 10th, 2013. We're at State College of Florida. This is interview number 1. Today, I'm Margaret Cooper. First of all, tell me about what you're studying here at State College.
I'm studying the energy technology management. I'm in the bachelor's program. This is my final semester, so I'll get my degree. The reason why I chose this degree program initially, I'm from, my people we're from the islands of Haiti.
Okay.
So 10 years ago, before the boom, I was in business helping out investors doing research on properties, and I was learning the business from that standpoint. After the crash, we lost everything. So it had me to do a refocusing on what was important. So I got a chance to go back and visit it. I visited about 8 years ago, roughly. And I wasn't born there. I was born here in the States. So I only just heard stories about what was going on over there. Once I got to Haiti, I saw the standard of living and how the people were struggling to survive and not having clean water, lights, and all the necessities that I took for granted here. So it made me refocus that even though I lost everything, I didn't lose everything. I still had a lot more than what they had, and they still had a smile on their faces. They were still going about living their lives as normal. So, and I figured with the climate changing that we're going to need to get to a point where we have to go green, where everything is going to have to be managed in more of an efficient way than what it was previously. And I saw an opportunity there that after the destruction of, the financial crisis and everything else, that there needed to be a new foundation for a new middle class. So I assumed that this foundation for the middle class would be green technology, green industry, because those jobs couldn't get outsourced. So 4 years ago when I first got here, 4 or 5 years ago I first got here, I was visualizing the future and what this economy would be like, but I understood from my standpoint that this economy is this kind of industry is further out than what it is now today. Like if I knew like I'm going to graduate now and that I'd go out in the market and to look for green jobs here locally, it would be almost difficult, if not impossible, for me to find any local jobs, and that I would have to either be the one to create my own job or try to set the foundation for this new industry before, because I'm figuring out it's going to be about 7 years out, 6 or 7 years out before it picks up to the point where it will be a major, where you could go in the newspaper, you could see tons of green jobs in there, and they're for middle class and high paying, and but that's I saw the dilemma there 4 years ago. Even before this program opened, I wasn't even gauging my thinking towards green energy until a year or so ago. I heard about the program, and I was already halfway there with all the prereqs and everything, and I was going to go into business initially, but I heard green, energy technology management, and I was like, that fits all the facets of who I am as far as knowing the business structure, knowing what it means to go green as far as environmental protection, and then people, the element of having a foundation to support people. So I decided that 2 months ago I would start my business called New Vision Energy Solutions Consulting Group. But the reason why I started the business was to basically build my own build my own job and my own found, because I knew that if I didn't go at it, because it's a new industry, so it's kind of hard to gauge as far as what particular business, what particular jobs are going to be in that industry. So my thinking was, okay, it's a green economy that they need a person that could kind of, or a company that could kind of bridge the gap for businesses that, or even residential homeowners or whatever, that want to go green but don't want to wait 3, 4, or 10 years down the road. So by the time they get there, we're already facing a challenge right now with climate change. So it's like, okay, why do we want to kick the can down the road? So the reason why we're doing that is because I've seen that commercial, just people in general, everybody, our backs are against the wall, meaning financially, budget cuts, even with the school here. Everything's tight, so nobody's willing to take that leap forward and actually go and make the investment, even though it's like a patient that knows that they need this particular medicine to save their life, but they can't afford it, or they're feeling like it's a miracle drug. We don't know if it's going to work or not. So it's like, let's continue to do what we've been doing to solve, to heal us right now, and continue on the same path and not make any changes. So I decided that my company would raise the capital, we would design the systems, we would talk to vendors from different type of industries in the green industry that are doing geothermal to wind to solar panels to automation systems in homes. And I wanted to have an umbrella company that dealt with all of those different aspects of green energy and created jobs and had it all in-house, and then actually build it from within the city, from the ground up. So for the next 2 months here, I wanted to give myself 2 months to figure out if I could get this done. There's a couple of projects that I established already. I wanted to do, for the State College of Florida, I wanted to do the solar parking lot coverage to provide coverage for students and to the walkways. And then we have the Warm Mineral Springs situation that's going on with the city and the county, that they're kind of fighting to try to see, try to get something done. I wanted to have my company come in as a third partner to invest $7 million and renovate the place and try to make it a welcome center for the city and the county, and to display that through community, government, students, and everybody working together, we are able to have this green economy this green industry kind of come to fruition now instead of down the road. And I wanted my company to hire students from the State College that are coming out of the same program that I'm coming out of, and then provide them a platform of saying that the new type of jobs and for the new middle class is going to be more of everybody being more independent-minded, business-minded, where it's more or less you're associate, where you're like a contractor or you're a consultant, and you're coming in and you're already knowing what your wages are. There's not a ceiling where the ceiling is as hard as you want to work, versus every industry or every structure there's the ceiling, and you work there. Once you get there, it's like, all right, you wait for the next wave or the next economic crash to see if you're going to still be at the top of that, if you're going to be at the top of that ceiling, or if you're going to be cut and then having to go somewhere new and restart over, or just reinvent yourself, because that's how life is. And I learned that the hard way. It was about reinvention, and that's what's driven me, is that I always had to reinvent myself. So,
really innovative.
Yeah, it's a lot. So, I have those three. I have those two, and I have another project that I wanted to do, was a 1,100 acre cattle ranch out in Mayaca. I wanted to make it a sustainable subdivision where it would have the ranch would still be still established, have a vegetable garden there to provide, and then have green homes built, modular homes, because I have done research on modular homes that are prefab, so they're quickly able to put up just as strong as what's now, but they use a lot less labor and a lot less, it's a lot less intrusive on the land, so I could build them in less time at a fraction of the cost. So I budgeted all those in. It's just that now at the point now is raising the capital, going out talking to banks. That's what I'm going to do this week here, but I said instead of doing that, we're going to have this interview, then I do more prep work on my proposal so I could make it short and sweet instead of, because I know a lot, and then if I put too much down, I get people easily to drift off and not, and where my message becomes blurred a little bit. That's why I want to condense it down to where I'm just strictly talking about specific numbers and how they get their returns back. That's the only thing that bankers and people, they understand, but that's mainly what, they have to, I have to show them the bottom line. So if I'm able to get that done, then I'm able to have a job and, be able to support my family and show them that the investment they made in me, because the last 5 years it's been hard knocks. It's been tough. It's been hurdle after hurdle. That's why right now it's like I'm so surprised it's been that long. When I first got here, I started from the bottom. I mean, as far as school, I thought I knew a lot, but I graduated from Bayshore High School and Manatee, and it was back in '99. So it's been a while since I've been in school, and I started here in 2008, 2009, and then I took the test, all the little tests and everything. I thought I was smart, and realized that over time, if education is not applied, you lose it. So you're not. And it took me some time. That's why I look at people that come in now and just tell them that, look, it doesn't matter what age, what you've been through, as long as you're getting back on that horse and you're riding it and you reinvent, because you always got to reinvent yourself.
Yes, exactly. So what did you do in the time between high school and... After high school, I was a football player, and I thought I was going to play football and I was going to make the millions and be in the NFL and everything, but I got cut short a little bit. I was in a car accident, so I had to have my back scope, and that left me bedridden for 2 weeks, I think, 2 or 3 weeks, and I couldn't move or anything. It was just, it was a grueling experience after high school. I mean, it's really disappointing too.
Yes, it was a heartbreak for me. I didn't know. I thought I had everything already set up in my mind. Exactly what I was going to do was like, okay, I'm going to go to school, play football, get a scholarship, go off to college, play 4 years there in college. Then after that, go to the NFL, buy my mom a house, take care of my family. No, none of that happened. I went off to a military college, and I had got homesick. I mean, I missed home and I missed my family because I'm from a family of 6 children. My mom raised all of us by herself, and I was the firstborn here, so I put a lot of onus on me trying to better myself and better, and then she used to tell me stories about my father, which stuck with me, about loyalty, and what kind of man he was, and I was like, I would be the total opposite of that. So I couldn't. It came time hard for me to kind of, let her go, like in a way, or to move on and just say to leave her behind, even though I knew she was, because she's been on a search for a man to, after my stepfather, because my stepfather's the only man that I knew in my life, and I used to see him working hard every day. He'd come home from construction work, and I'd be like that little kid. I'd run to his side, help him unlace his shoes and take his shoes off, bring him his coffee, bring him his meal, And, you know, and I was like 13 years old. He passed away. You know, I was in elementary school. He passed away. So it was like, and the last thing I remember him saying to me was I'm leaving to look out for your family, look out for your mom and stuff. Because when he would take trips to Haiti, I wouldn't go with him, but I would always want to go. And he was like, you know, you're the man of the house. You're the little man of the house. You know how you do. You're the little man of the house. You're the trooper. You know, look over your sister, your brothers, and your mom. And after he passed away, that's the only thing that kept constantly playing in my head every day. It was like, look out for your mom, look out for your brothers, look out for your sisters. So during that time, you know, I came back and then I had my surgery and I started working at cash and carry. I was a stock boy, and I came back to the job that I was working when I was going to school. Then I went to Walmart, you know, worked at Walmart for a bit, and then I went to ITT Tech. I went to do architecture and drafting and design, and I went there, I did that for a little bit, traveling back and forth from Bradenton to there, and then I found me a job at ADT security. So I knew anything about internet security. First, I knew about drafting and design to internet security and how security homes and all that works. And then I did that for a while, 2 or 3 years, and then the first meltdown, the 9/11, doing 9/11, we had to crash, and then we were about to go to the first recession before. So I lost the job then during that point, and I had to go in the market and to find jobs. Then was like, I was getting paid $13, $14 an hour at ADT just out of high school, 2 or 3 years out of high school, and I was like, I don't need college. I'm going there. It's not really serious. I'm getting paid good enough money now. And I got hit hard once I lost the job there, and it was like, okay, I was trying to sell knives, the little Ginsu knives, even the vacuum cleaners, going door to door, and I found a job at Protocol down in Bradenton, Sarasota, and then this was around the time the Enron fiasco with people up in Texas area around that. So I'm working for this company that I have to do cold calls to people in Texas, trying to convert them over to a new energy company. That's how you see life works around in a way. So it was like, and I was never a person that I was always a shy person, so I was never a phone person. So it's like, you have to do sales, and you're the breadwinner. So I'm sitting there at this job, and I'm only getting paid $7 an hour, you know, and it's not enough. I'm not even getting paid enough to pay bills at home, and I have to get bonuses, and I'm not getting sales every day. I was averaging 1 or 2 sales a day, and I had other people averaging 10 to 20, and they were getting bonus checks. So like when I got my $300 check, they got a $300 check plus a $700 check.
Oh my goodness.
So, and they were my friends. So and the whole time the boss is telling me every day that you're gonna get fired, you're gonna lose your job, you're a bum, you're not worth, you're not worth anything. So it took me time because at first I was holding on too strongly. Then I realized, because I was stuck between a hard place, because I was my mom lost the house, we lost everything, and then we were back in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house in a rough neighborhood, we call it back in the hood, where it's just like stuff that we worked so hard for to move out of, and her being a single parent moved us all to 6 kids. It's like decades later, we're back in this hole, and I'm the only one that's working, and she's telling me constantly to stay strong, and I'm telling her that I'm feeling less than a person, less than valued, and I can't take it anymore. You know, I'm feeling like I'm about to go crazy, and one day happened. What happened one day was a situation happened when most of the guys there that were making the sales were being dishonest to the customers on the other line, and they were convincing them, misleading them, and that's how they were making sales. So the big boss, the boss guy, I remember to this day, Richard, I remember remember that name. And he came down and he said, yeah, we noticed that some people here have been, misleading people, so we brought an agreement down here that releases liability off of us and puts liability on you guys, and we want you to sign this agreement to work here. And I'm like, so once you sign this agreement, you're going to still continue the same forcing of the workers to make more sales, so they're going to be in a position to be to mislead, and then if they get prosecution or anything comes back on the company, then you put the employee out on the limb by himself so they could defend themselves, and you guys have no liability. And I'm like, I felt that it was equivalent to like selling my soul. So I was like, I can't. I mean, I'm a Christian. I've been raised in the church since I was a little kid. I can't sign this paper, even though I know I'm gonna lose my job, there's no more employment. I'll have to find something. I feel like God will make a way. So I had a couple of the friends of mine that were with me, and then they decided we're all gonna leave together, and we talked about it. We were like, it's dishonest. And the lady that was there, they gave me confidence to continue and gave me support. We grew a friendship. We left, and then the next day or 2 days later, I came back to pick my last check up. I felt that was the first time in my life where I felt great about myself. It was just like, I felt, even though I didn't have $1, it was like I felt free. It was like, whatever happens from here on out, even though I don't know what's going to happen, I feel better as a person versus if I stayed there and constantly kept going through that abuse, and then mentally it would have took me over. So the thing about that story was they returned back. They came back to work there, and I looked at them and I was like, and I just felt that we're all in different places in our lives, so I couldn't judge them on that decision. I just said, at a different place where so it was one of those moments in life where it was just the marker there saying that I had to make that choice. So from that on, then I went and did nursing. I went into nursing. My mom's like, maybe you and your brother should go and do CNA work. Okay. And I was like, I remember when I was working at ADT, my sister was doing it, and I was like, I could never take care of people. I could never clean people. And I was like, no, that's not a real job and stuff. And then, you know how life has it where when you say never,
yes,
it pops back up. Right. Like, Will, remember when you said never? Here's one of these moments right now where you need to either suck it up here and bite bullet and go ahead and do what you said you would never do. I mean, but it was experience though, and I joined in, and I worked, and I just saw the cycle of life. It just gave me a full understanding of how life works, like how we go from as a child, and then till we get to that age to where it's time for us to go. And I just kept being like a pilot, like a person just taking notes, where I just sat back and just said, look at my life and what kind of directions do I want to go? Do I want to be this kind of person where I saw people there that committed their whole entire life to a company, and then at the end of the day, the company then return the favor. It was just like, okay, we stripped you off, here you go. And at the same time, I saw people that were working in the same field with me. I saw a lady that was training me, 2 or 3 days training me. Then she got hurt, and she was in the same nursing home. And then I had to take care of her. This is like my first month or 2 there, so it's like an experience. And then seeing somebody die, and because I had to go through that experience earlier on in my life when my grandmother came down, and she was passing away, and my family was just me and my cousin that was there to take care of her, and it kind of brought me back. Like, you need that experience to see what's involved in taking care of somebody. That's why I knew it was more. It's more of a job, a civic duty when somebody goes and do something, like just like a teacher, just like a police officer. It's a civic duty. It's giving back it's just giving back, and I work those areas. So when I work in those areas, I always looked at it as a learning experience. Like you're going in there, like every job I had, I just took it as, okay, I'm working here to see how the operations work, how it functions, so I can get an understanding of how this business works. And that's how I got with the nursing, because all my family members right now, they're all CNAs. Most of them try to, because it was just, because when the market changed, they had to find work, and the solid platform was nursing work, especially for minorities and stuff. They're finding ways to still be in the middle class and not having an education, but still finding a way to make a decent living for their family. So it was like everybody was migrating over to doing nursing work, and then to try to get that foundation.
Yeah, healthcare industry is always.
So that's what happened, and then during that time, I bumped into an investor. I saved my money. I was like, look, I want to get into real estate. I worked 16 hours, went a whole year working 16-hour shifts every day for a year, and I saved up $10,000.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I saved it up, and I signed it away to a guy, and come to find out, he was the most trustworthy guy in the world. Yeah, and that's what I had to learn the hard way, that if you don't understand the business, if you don't understand, there's going to be growing pains, meaning that you will be taken advantage of. If you believe that everybody you meet is going to keep it on the up and up, and they're going to be like, their word is their bond. Your word may be your bond. but then there's no guarantee. So I thought his word was his bond. So I told him, look, man, here's my $10,000. I have a partner of mine that's working with me, and the guy was a gentleman. He was 10 years older than me, so he a family man. He got kids and everything else. It gave me a learning experience, what people could do, because what happened is we invested our money. I'm working every day trying to fix the place up. The guy that was my partner, he's out freelancing, womanizing, and I'm like, you're a husband with kids. I'm just a single young guy, so you're supposed to be kind of teaching me, trying to be, and this is what you're doing. And then at the same time, the investor guy wanted me to spend $1,000 a month to pay for the place, because I was supposed to do like an option, but I didn't actually buy it, but it was a lease with an option to purchase. I was going to fix it up, do renovations, and then resell it. It never worked out that way. One day I had to come up to him and say, look, I'm hemorrhaging. I'm down to my savings. I have me an apartment. I'm eating noodles, super noodles, and I'm working 16-hour days. As soon as I get off of work, I ride all the way to Bradenton. I do hard labor work for about a couple hours, go home, sleep for about 2 hours. I'm about to go crazy here. Could we cut this rope? Could we cut this? This is a sinking ship. Maybe we cut it so we can still save me. So he was like, since you're an honest guy, and you came up to me and you told me, what the deal was. I'll give you back your deposit, but your partner, he's not going to get back his. I'll give you back your deposit. I'm like, okay, I accept that, and plus I'll take you under my wing and teach you the business. Around this time, I got involved with the young lady around this point, and we got serious, and I worked with this investor for a minute, and the lady I got involved with, she was working with me at the same job, so we started getting kind of conflicts with the other ladies there. I wasn't doing anything, but it just got a little conflict, so she wanted me to quit, and I told her, like, if I leave here, I want to go into full-time investing and then learning the ropes from this guy, and I did that. I went and worked with him, and it got to a point where she felt that I was being misused or I wasn't being abused, and I was like telling her that if you go and work as an apprenticeship for anybody, you don't usually get paid. I went and worked with this guy the first week. I spent doing research at the courthouse. That's how I know how the court system and all that works. And I made $1,000. He made $10,000. He gave me 10%. I was like, wow, I haven't made that much money doing that amount of work. And I'm like, imagine if I ran the whole operation and I made the $10,000 or something like that. And I was like, then it just got to a point where it was butting heads. He was telling me that she's going to ruin your life because she's going to get in your mindset that, you need to spend right now instead of you being focused on what you need to do. And I had to make a decision, and that's the same time I moved down to Northport, because I was with her in a 1-bedroom apartment. She decided that maybe it would be a good shot for me to move down here and be roommates with my family. And I'm like, look, my family's from the islands, so there's a lot of tension, there's a lot of headbutting, and it's almost like it's not like a gang or something like that. Once you get out, you don't want to, you're glad you got out, you don't want to go back. So if you're telling me to go back, it was so hard for me to get out. So I made the choice. I stopped working with him. I packed my stuff up from Sarasota, packed her up and her 13-year-old, and I moved to Northport and spent 5 years down here. And during that time, it was hell, because once I moved down there with my family, we all were in a 3-bedroom, 3-bath house. It was a pretty good size. It just got problematic because my ex were splitting up, were going through problems, and my family, they were butting heads, and me, I was in the middle. I lost a job, so I'm not working. So my value with her dropped drastically, because I went from money and stable to now I'm not stable. And then at the same time, I had got my check. I had got an accident when I took had my back scoped, and I couldn't play football. My check finally came in after 3 years.
Wow. After 3 years.
Yes,
yeah.
And it was a crazy situation, because it was times that we had to move, and nobody had any money, and it was on my shoulder, and they were looking at me like, Willie, you better use your real estate experience and your talking experience to get us a new house, and we only got $100. I'm like, $100? I was ready to pull my hair out. I went somewhere into a closed room, and I just wept. I just cried and cried like a little baby. And because you gotta have those moments. Like, even strong leaders, I think, have moments like that, because you have to have that moment where it's just you, and you just gotta get it all out. So when you go back out there, you have that strong face on now because you're hurt. It's a balancing. It's a balancing mentally. So and I found a way. I mean, I found a house, and I got us in with $100. I got us moved, and then I just went and I said, okay, I didn't think I could go back to school anymore, because after I left ITT Tech, I had owed like 40, 50 grand, because the school was like and I was young, I didn't know. And nobody said, look, the school that you're going to that's 45 minutes away, it's going to cost you 3 or 4 times the tuition if you went down to the local community college.
Yeah, it's true. It's a lot of folks don't know.
No, I wasn't, and they don't. It's not like when you get out of high school, you have a counselor sit with you and says, some of these options here, they sound good, but they're 3 times or 4 times the option of come here for a cheap tuition, and you can have less stress going for a cheaper tuition. If I knew what I knew now, I would already have done it when I first came out of high school. I went straight to the local community college there, MCC, and then did my degree. And I always loved school, so
and ITT doesn't transfer either.
No, none of it. They didn't. Yeah, and I was like sitting there like, no, we don't transfer anything. So when you get done, you have to go to USF and start off as a freshman. And I was like, what? I was like, who would in their right mind would want to do this? And they're like,
they don't tell people that. No. So when you came here, a lot of the community colleges, we're interviewing like at 4 or 5 of them, only have 2-year degrees in this field. So you guys actually have a whole 4-year degree.
Yes. That was the thing that kept me here after because they were mentioning when I was getting my aid during the time, they were like, we're having a lot of new 4-year degrees coming up. You already knew about the RN program. Everybody's getting more towards that. And then I heard about the green technology. I was like, energy technology management. I was like, a 4-year program on that. And I was like, very interesting, and I found out what exactly are the certain sections of the program, what could fit my strengths and stuff like that. What does it entail? And it said, you could do auditing, you could do consulting, you could even work with the power company, or you could work with private business. And I was like, all of those elements, I could handle all those elements. So I was like, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. It's close, it's cheap, and I get the full education that I need versus me saying, okay, let me pack up and go. Because initially, after my 2-year, I was going to go and transfer over to USF and do the business program, do the bachelor's in business.
Okay.
So, I mean, even with this program, the energy technology management, I wanted to finish that and couple it with the I think they got international business too here. Yeah, so I wanted to do the international business, but I was like, mainly what I got to do first is to try to go out in the field first, get seasoned, and then I could either come back and do the bachelor for international business, or I could go and do a master's for the green technology. But it's a different type of bachelor's program. I'm not completely familiar with all the details to that one, but I seriously want to think about it maybe a year or two from now, and then start a family and get all that done. But for now, it's just to get this degree done. Once I get this degree done, go and do my proposals, my projects, and then see if I get those up and going, then get people hired, and then come back for my education and finish it off. Just because I want to just set a standard. I always said that it's just a legacy. I always call it legacy. And I tell my nephews, nieces, and them that it doesn't matter what happened to you in the past or whatever. It's just that you're able to create your legacy and where do you want it to go. And I want my legacy to be that I was the first born here. I carried the torch for my family, and I did everything that was right. I went to school and followed school all the way through, because once people sometimes tell you school's not that important, I said no. Education it's far outweighs anything else. They can take everything from you, but your education they can't take, or lack thereof. So if you're not equipped for that, then you're not going to be able to survive whatever comes at you when the markets start changing. And I'm telling them, things are going to constantly change as they grow up. Right now, changes for me were gradual, but with them, it's going to be more frequent because they're in their time.
Things are changing so
quickly now. Yeah, it used to take time for maybe a year or so for something to change, but now it's happening instantly. So, and I felt that I had creativity and design, because I have an artistic view too. So I felt that with the energy technology management program, I felt like I'm a manager of different type of components to green technology, like from and then how can I put all of that to work in a cohesive system and have it look aesthetically appealing. And I felt that was more like a Picasso or a drawing. It's like a drawing. You put it together, and it's not. And every one is not the same. They're not all similar. So I don't know how to explain it. Just to kind of set that when I do these designs and I do these models, I wanted them also have an artistic feeling to it, to where over time they could always come back and look at it and say, yeah, this is how art's is going in a way where it's artistic and it's green and it's environmentally friendly and it's suitable for living and I wanted to be that way, a developer of sorts, and that's what's driven me to take this program.
Just a few more.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I probably haven't even gone.
No, you actually answered a lot of the things that I already need. That's why you're awesome. Okay. I was just don't want to keep you too long, but you are really, really answering the things I need to hear. I really appreciate it. When you were in high school, did you have any kind of like technology type classes?
When I was in high school, it was mainly I was into art. We did shop classes, but as far as technology back in those technology wasn't emerging until after 2000. I graduated in '99, so internet and all that stuff was just starting to pick up really strongly. So as far as any technology influences there in high school, no. But as soon as I got out of high school, I was more about self-learning, self-teaching. So I went on to looking on marketing, because I had to find out, from a business standpoint, what are all the key elements to keeping a business going: the accounting, the marketing, and I was going to say sales and people relations and stuff like that. So I focused and said, I need to know more about marketing. So I went and learned about online marketing, finding ways because I felt that would be the most efficient way for any business. And I figured that if I do my whole concept of green energy, I could provide this as another element to businesses in a way of minimizing costs to do marketing, trying to find out how could you get it down to the most minute amount of cost to do your marketing and still be as productive as other companies. So I got into some groups online, some groups to try to collaborate with other people, other like-minded people, and then build friendships and relations. And that's what I've been doing over the time, because I wanted to have all of the above approach. And so when I got out of school, that if I needed some kind of employment, I could provide those kind of consulting and provide long lines of everything, so I could be employed still efficient, where they don't say, what you learned already is not useful now. No, it's going to be, no. So when I did because I wanted to create like online billboards in a way for small businesses. So it just create massive amounts of them to where once you get traffic, that people don't have a choice but to see it. It's kind of say, okay, so they click, they kind of direct them to you. And it was a concept, but I haven't had a chance to develop that yet, because I'm still on the green portion of that. And it's going to take me a lot of time for me to go on and crafting websites and doing all that, which was good. It gave me a broad understanding of everything, because I didn't know anything about websites and e-commerce and a lot of things. And I learned that over the years too, because I was like, okay, I can't just learn what they're teaching me here. I got to learn other stuff along the way, just to kind of keep me fresh on just everything. Just if I learn as much as I can possibly, then I'll be relevant. I'll continually, to be relevant, and I'll be outdated.
So you've really taught yourself a lot in addition to what
I learned here. Yeah. Just to. I mean, so I could. The only thing I always felt was that I had to overcome was just fear. It's just fear of, and learn that I didn't. That's why I had this box. I should have brought it in. It says, what do you fear most? Do you fear regret, or do you feel failure? Which one? And I always put it on regret. So every time I look at it, my biggest fear is regret. Failure is not a fear for me. It's just the regret part, because I don't want later on to regret not doing something when I should have did it, and then I can live with myself like that. So I always try to do things now, so I don't regret them later.
Yeah, that's really good. When you first started here, was this your major, or did you start with another major?
No, when I first started here, I generally tell people that when you first start, that there's not, you can pick a major, but the major is not really, you're not going to know your major till 2 years from now, maybe 3 years from now. So you can pick anything you want to pick right now underneath the sun. But you still have to do all the tread work that everybody has to do coming from the bottom all the way till they get to the point of the college level. Then after that first year of finishing those courses, then the next year you can start diverging into whatever degree you're going to go into. So when I first started, I was just I'm degree seeking, but I didn't actually have a major, but I wanted to go into business, so I put them as business, but they didn't have those kind of programs, they actually have a 2-year degree, a 4-year degree for business. So it was just the AA. And when I was going to try to transfer over to ESF, find out whatever classes that they had available, try to fit them in here at the school, then transfer over. But until they brought out the Green Energy Technology program, then I was like, that's the winner. That's me. I'm going down that trail, and I could save maybe $20,000 or $30,000 by staying here versus going to the bigger colleges and still being taught the same thing, but being charged 3 or 4 times the amount of money.
Right.
So, yeah.
What have you felt are some of the benefits of this program?
That's a good question. The benefits of this program was the teachings of certain types of renewables that I never had a chance to think about or even consider even being a possibility. Like if you don't know it, then like if you don't know something, you don't know what the possibilities are, because you never before. I didn't know about energy and about how to manage it and why you needed to manage it. I didn't know about solar panels or anything. I just thought, just things that look like glass, you put them outside, you plug them in, all right, and they produce energy. I didn't know about geothermal. I didn't know, that the differentiations in water temperature, 10 to 20 differentiation in water temperature can make a difference enough to cool or heat a home. And I didn't know all those things. I mean, and plus the business aspect of it, how organizations communicate and how cultural differences could dictate how you do business in certain areas, and how you still need to respect those kind of, and it's the same with the environment, all it, where the whole compassing program just taught me just generally how everything works within each other, and that if your one concept of doing business or implementing something is not the right way, then it has a dramatic effect on everything that's involved, and it can destroy your business or it can make your business. And I felt the program was in a way trying to open my eyes up to more of saying that we all are individual businesses, and it kind of took you in that concept of saying if you're working as an individual business, but not saying you're not yet, but just saying if you, let's just say you're working in a business, but that was your business, but and put your shoes in there. In actuality, it's trying to teach you that it's always been your business. You just haven't seen it as your business. You've seen it as, I'm working at this place, location, and they're hiring me. No, you're working, but it's your business that's working there. Your services, they're providing your services there. So it just taught me more on that. Like, I'm still a business myself, and I need to figure out what my strengths are to keep me viable and still operating, and then different aspects of technology, what all things work. Because at first, all we were talking about in the program were about solar panels, about the wind turbines, about hydro, all the different type of renewables. Then we diverged into management, organizational management, cultural management, and in general, we already know business management generally. And then after that, we went into automation systems, networking, and security online security. That's what I'm taking last. And I felt all those components, you need to know each of those components strongly to be able to be a manager of technology, which that's why I took the program. And I feel that any student that gets in is going to get that broad concept, and it's the new level. It's the next. It's going to be. I feel like this program is going to be just like the nursing program, where the nursing program. The reason why everybody's going into the nursing program is because they feel that's the next middle class. It's where the middle class will be stable, where you have enough leeway, or just the medical field in general. And I feel like the medical field field, in the energy field, is going to be the two biggest high employing concepts. That's why when I looked at our program here, it's a small program. It's not, you're just noticing that it's just starting to pick up, but that's why I said the next 7 years, that's when they'll have a full effect. It might even have their own building for, just like how we have a nursing building, we might have one for energy, which I think we should.
Have you gone full time?
Yeah, full time. I've been taking full time for the last 6, 7, 8 classes. I haven't had. That's why I feel like I've been a prisoner for the last 5 years. Like I haven't gotten a chance to. I haven't gone out. I haven't did anything. It's just been books, reading, taking care of my family, and just trying to keep focused and just waiting for this moment to actually get a chance to shine and actually get to implement everything I learned over the years and see if it was worth the travels, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I've been through it. So
I'll just have a couple more for you. What have you found challenging? What are your challenges?
Balancing. It's been a balancing act. The challenges has been that I understand how hard it could be for certain individuals to balance full-time work, to balance kids. I don't have kids, but my family dealing with them when they have children. I have brothers and others that were, I felt like I had children. So I felt that those challenges could sometimes keep people from achieving their ultimate goal and actually obtaining it. That's why what I wanted to do was look at all the challenges that I had as me going to school, that once my business starts, that I would provide whatever tax, because I know we pay taxes on whatever my business made. I would diverse those taxes over to programs to help students more or less with child care and everything. Like child care is the biggest thing for mothers as well as fathers, but it's mainly the moms that are trying to do, and that's the foundation. They need to have time to be able to get those studies in, especially when you're taking 7 or 8 classes, and then I'm not having time to contribute to my family, and I'm always telling them, look, I'm in a book, like give me a couple of hours, or I can't go out, we can't have a family get together because I got to study. Those times were hard for me to go through that. Like, you don't know how many times I wanted to just drop the book and just go off for the weekend and have fun with my family and then come back in. But it was like I had to prioritize my life and figure out what's more important for me right now. Saying that is the education more important than having this fun time, because you can have fun now and you can pay for it later, or you can pay for it now and then have fun later. So I just said, you know what? I'll pay handsomely, right now, and then later on I'll have fun.
How do you see your life change after that?
It could either go 2 ways. The first way is it could either I could either have to relocate and move on to another area, but it's I could build my foundation here, raise my family here, and provide solutions to the community, which I prefer that to happen, and I'm more engaged in that happening. My life is going to change because it's just a closed chapter. You already climbed this mountain, Mount Everest. I already made it up to the top of the peak, and I'm looking down this valley. I'm looking at how much struggles with all the pitfalls that I've been through. It made me stronger now. So now I'm eager to find out what's the next chapter going to be like. I'm ready to start a family. I'm ready. Not yet, but I'm ready to start my business, have my business more, like my child, and raise it to be strong and be good and provide back to the community and be an upstanding citizen. So that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm ready, and I want to travel, and I just want to be at peace. I just want to not hold hold any, because a lot of things has happened to me, and I learned that I just can't. I have to let it go and cleanse and just start anew and just be happy and just keep smiling, because sometimes life could make you feel like you don't want to smile at all. So what I try to do every day is smile, at least laugh at least 10 times a day. I tell everybody that, but they don't believe me, but that's what it is. It's just that karma. It's like if it's good things that happen to you. If it's bad, then bad things that happen. So I always believed in that. So that's what I'm hoping for. And after I finish my graduation and I walk the stage, then I'm just I look forward to meeting new people and making new relationships and making a difference. That's what I want to do, is make a difference. So by the time I leave out here, they'll be like, I've affected a lot of lives in a positive way, and that's what I think life is all about. Is just if you could affect people in a positive way, once you leave, you'll leave without regret. You'll just leave. You won't want to hold back. That's what I learned from when I was working at the nursing home, was just seeing that people that missed their opportunity to actually do what they wanted, what they were supposed to do, and actually fulfill their destiny. They didn't do it, and it's like they're trying to hold off the inevitable, going to the next stage, because they feel like it's a lot that was undone, that hasn't been done. And I don't want to be like that. I want to feel like I did everything and then some, and then when it's time for me to go, I just go happily in the night, and then it'll be a happy ending, and everybody have a party, celebrate. And, no, it's not the end; it's the beginning, and that's why I want to see everything as. That's why I told everybody when I left here, but it's not the end; it's just a new beginning. So we shouldn't all get all teary-eyed and feeling like it's over. You're never going to see me again. No, I'll just be back. It's just I'll have a different hat on. I won't have the student hat on. I'll have the professional business hat on. And, we all can have a laugh and, we can enjoy. And that's how I want to leave it. And that's what I told everybody. My last day was like a couple of weeks ago. I just, I left it. I made a lot of relationships with people here at the school. That's the main thing that made me enjoy coming here. It's just building relationships. Because if I went to a bigger campus, it'd been harder for me to build the same type of relationships. Like everybody around here, almost they'll know who I am, because I've been around, and I'm a warm person, and I'm open. So and I mean, that's how I want to be. I always want people to feel comfortable around me and not feel intimidated or feel, belittled or any kind of way. And that's how I want my business to be. And just generally, I'm just like that.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I mean,
well, that's all I have for you. Do you have anything else?
No, I mean, I think I said more than enough.
No,